They investigate crimes, but that doesn't take away the presumption of innocence in a court of law. Like, this is basic legal stuff, Royce.
No, no, no. It
I
takes
want
away
to
the
talk about
presumption of
your
innocence in
views
the
on
court of public
policy, but
opinion.
this is crazy.
It takes away the presumption of innocence in the court of public opinion, which now in today's world can be just as dangerous as the opinion in the court of law.
Well, we're back on the David Pakman show today. I just can't get away from this guy. He is so ludicrous. And watching this wotard, David Pakman, get his posterior handed to him by Royce White, former athlete and wannabe U.S. Senator. I think he ran for Senate this year. But things went a bit sideways. There was a bit of, apparently, some sort of trumped up scandal. I don't know if it was real or not about using campaign finances for personal spending. I think they're going to talk about that here in this clip. But woke extremist David Pakman just he just can't get his little tiny brain around what Royce White has to say. Let's take a look.
Jesus.
Okay. I don't want to use all our time on this, but it sounds like we're not going to get any more examples, and the audience can kind of judge that for themselves.
Hey, you can pick anybody you want. The whole Me Too movement was based on the claim that we should believe all women. Do you think we should believe all women?
Well, that we've already talked about. It's a completely different question, and it has to do with what is
it's
the
not.
responsibility
It's just,
of police to
Wait a
investigate
second.
if
Wait a
there's
second.
probable
Wait a
cause, and
second.
It has nothing whatever.
Wait a second.
Whatever
It's
to
not
do
a
with the
different question.
usefulness of being
It's
an
not a
American
different
citizen.
question at all. It certainly does, because there are fundamental rights of being an American citizen.
It's also a very easy question to answer. Do you believe all women? No. Do you believe all men? No. Very simple, David Pakman.
One of which has always been the presumption of innocence. Number one. So there is complete merit to bring it into question when we talk about American citizenship.
Royce,
But,
you understand
again,
that when police investigate crimes, they investigate crimes, but that doesn't take away the presumption of innocence in a court of law. Like, this is basic legal stuff, Royce.
No. It takes away the presumption of innocence in the court of public opinion.
But this is crazy.
It takes away the presumption of innocence in the court of public opinion, which now in today's world can be just as dangerous as the opinion in the court of law. And even for
false rape claims are 0.02% of all sexual assault claims.
According to you. According to
crime reporting from police departments all over the country.
According to you
and the police departments.
According to you, then why don't they bring more claims?
Who?
Why don't more make it to the courtroom?
What claims?
Because they lack evidence. The reason why police departments say, first of all, again, you're trying to sidetrack me and you keep interrupting me. You brought
Royce,
me on your show.
You created this sidetrack.
You brought me on your show. You brought me on your show.
And we're not
You asked me about a question about women.
About.
I'm answering a question about feminists and the feminist movement.
Hold on, Royce. You
the point is when you assume that all women are telling the truth, or that we should believe all women on face value, by default.
I don't know anyone who has said that.
The whole movement of the whole Me Too movement was based on this idea that believe all women.
That's your assertion. I don't believe that to be true.
Oh,
where was David Pakman during the whole Me Too movement? Believe all women, of course, is ludicrous. You know, people who commit crimes should be charged, investigated, and, where necessary, tried, of course. But David Pakman's completely forgotten about this.
Okay, well, you let your viewers decide then. Let's go to the next question.
Trust but verify is the view that I've always had.
Believe all women was the commercial.
Trust but verify is not how the legal system works, David Pakman. Someone brings a complaint to the police. Police investigate. They don't trust but verify. They investigate the allegations, and if they have enough evidence. If their investigation reveals enough evidence, they take that to the district attorney, the public prosecutor, who then decides whether they're going to prosecute. Yeah, not trust but verify. That's completely different.
Commercial, widespread commercial. Believe all women was the widespread commercial and cultural sentiment from the Me Too movement, 150,000%.
You know, Royce, you sidetracked us on Believe All Women, right? You brought it up out of nowhere.
The Believe All Women idea is a part of the claim that women have become mouthy.
Okay. Let me ask about a couple of other
And I
things
will say,
related to your campaign.
I will say,
Yeah.
in that vein,
Yeah.
when women are allowed to say things about men with no boundaries or no constraints whatsoever, and it's culturally accepted across American culture and across political culture, that is, in my opinion, more than a valid reason to be able to say, hey, women are getting out of control. And I do think radical feminists are getting out of control. I should have been more specific, but
I get the
I thought I was
point
being
that
humorous.
you think women are out of control. I got it.
No. I said radical feminists are out of control. Be clear. And they are. That's why they're bringing their children to drag stripper shows.
Let me ask about a couple of things.
Do you think that's okay? Do you think it's okay to sexualize children at drag stripper shows?
I don't think the children are being sexualized if they go to a drag show. No, I just don't think that that's the sexualization.
You don't
of
think
children.
that you don't think children are being? Would it be okay for me as a grown adult male to take underage kids to a regular strip club?
I don't think they're allowed. No.
So why are they?
God, David Pakman is so slimy. Just answer the question. I don't think they're allowed. That's not the question he asked. He didn't ask if they were allowed by law or not. He said, "Do you think it's okay?" Just say yes or no, David Pakman. It's a very easy question. Obviously, most right-thinking people would say no, of course not. Just like they would say no, of course you shouldn't take young children to a drag show, or especially not to some drag stripper show.
Allowed to do it in but why aren't they allowed?
Royce.
Why aren't they allowed? Is it because of the alcohol or because of the sexualization?
I don't know the laws around strip clubs. I couldn't tell you.
Oh,
but Royce,
okay.
if
Maybe
I can
you should
get a
learn them though,
question
because you're
here.
talking about drag shows. You have an opinion about the drag shows, and you say
brought
that's
them
completely
up.
fine.
Royce, you brought
right, but
them
you
up.
have an opinion about.
I'm gonna
that.
have to mute you, Royce. I'm gonna have to mute you.
Oh, okay.
You're bringing up topics and then telling me I brought them up. This isn't a way to be interviewed as a serious
I didn't say
person.
that. I didn't say you brought it up. I said you had an
You
opinion
told me
about
I
it.
brought up believe all women and that I brought up drag shows.
No, I
you
didn't.
brought those issues
No,
up.
I
You
did not
just
say
said-
that. They'll be able to watch it back and see
They
for
will.
themselves how
They
it
will.
went.
Let's
I
leave
didn't
it for
bring. I
people
didn't
to
say
watch
you brought
back.
it up. I
Royce.
brought it up. I'm going to bring up every topic I want to bring up.
Oh, so
you
you
white
are
liberals are
admitting you
not going to
brought it
tell you. Yeah, I brought up the feminist
Okay.
movement and I brought up the drag stripper shows as an
Can
example.
we continue the interview?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You brought up strip clubs. It was
Right.
recently revealed you spent campaign donations at a strip club. Is that true?
That's not true.
Okay. It's been sourced very well by the Daily Beast. Where'd they get this
The
information?
Daily Beast. First of all, the Daily.
David Pakman using as his source the Daily Beast.
Beast is not a good source. That's number one. But number two, it wasn't well sourced even in that article at all. It was a reference to a campaign filing
Yes.
with the FEC that was not done properly.
Who didn't do the filing properly?
Whoever was in charge of the filing.
And who was that?
Well, there were a number of people I would assume who were in charge of getting that accounting done, but it wasn't
You don't
filed properly.
know who the people are doing your accounting?
Oh yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, I know who they are. Do you want me to list the entire
Yeah.
list of people who worked on it?
Yeah.
So you have time for me to go through a list of people who worked on the filing, but you don't have time to talk about the details of the political issues you want to
Well,
discuss?
how many people is it?
Give me a break. Who do you people think you're fooling?
I don't think we're fooling
Who do
anybody.
you people think you're fooling?
So the people who
I
prepared
answered your
the
question.
reports.
I answered the question.
I'm
The
trying to
question is no.
understand it, Royce. The
The
people who
question is no.
prepared the
The
reports.
answer is no.
The people
The answer
who
to your question is no.
I haven't even asked the question yet.
You did. You asked, did I spend campaign finance money on strippers? The
And
answer
you
is no.
responded, and now I want to ask a follow-up.
Okay.
Your claim is there were filings which said you spent campaign funds at a strip club, but they were incorrect filings.
No, they didn't say that I spent the funds at a strip club. Or no, let's say they didn't say that I spent the funds on strippers.
But it was spent at a strip club.
Well, strip club they sell food at the strip club, don't
So
they?
you've spent the money on food at a strip club. Is that more accurate?
You seem to be very unfamiliar with strippers and strip clubs and drag strip shows, so I'll inform you, maybe
Please.
you aren't informed, that they do have food at strip clubs.
So what you're saying is the money was
No, wait,
spent
did
at
you
a
know
strip
that though?
club.
Did you know that?
I know strip clubs have
Have you ever
restaurants.
been to a strip club?
One time.
Did you like the food?
No.
You got to go to better strip clubs then.
Okay. But
This guy's funny. Oh, Royce White, he's just playing with David Pakman. It's amusing to watch.
so what you're saying is you did spend the money at strip clubs, but on food. Is that right?
Well, I'm not saying that I spent the money. I'm saying that there was a filing on my FEC report that shouldn't have been there and potentially should have been reimbursed by somebody who may have been at the strip club, but that there is food at the strip club. So to say it was spent on strippers is not based on factual evidence.
I didn't say that.
Especially not from the day that you did.
I said strip club, not strippers.
No, well, okay. Well,
Which is
that's
the
what's
same thing you're
implied
saying,
by
right?
the Daily Beast.
It's the same thing you're saying, right? So we
But
agree.
that's what's been implied by the Daily
Money
Beast
was
and other
spent
people
at
as well.
a strip club by someone else in your campaign on
That's
food.
that's what's been implied by the Daily Beast and other mainstream media outlets as well.
And what's the truth?
I just told you.
Someone else bought food at a strip club with campaign funds.
No, I told you about the FEC filing. You seem to have a lot of time for this one.
Well, it's because you're so obviously lying.
Oh, okay. I'm so obviously lying.
Yeah, just tell me the truth. So did a staffer spend money on food at a strip club?
You white liberals have a lot of nerve.
That's
You white
identity politics.
liberals,
Royce.
hate when black men vote Republican. You hate when black men say that they like being American citizens. You hate when black men say that we want to have a border. You hate when black men say stop sending our money to the Ukraine. And you go to the WWE politics to try and defend your latent racism. That's what it is.
Hold on a second, Royce.
Oh, this is brilliant. I like how he's just throwing all this nonsense back at David Pakman's face. And it reminds me, I looked this up because what he just said reminds me of a quote by the Uber-based Malcolm X. Now, I read the autobiography of Malcolm X many years ago when I was in college, and it was pretty based. And I should reread it again. Let me know in the comments if you've read it. But yeah, he was an interesting guy, and I think I would have got on very well with Malcolm X. He had very based and realistic. He was very much a race realist. He was a realist about many things, some of which I probably shouldn't mention here. But his famous quote, of course, is, and I quote, "The white liberal is the worst enemy to America and the worst enemy to the black man. Let me first explain what I mean by this white liberal. In America, there's no such thing as Democrats and Republicans anymore. That's antiquated. In America, you have liberals and conservatives." Now, again, that was a quote from the 60s from his book. Or maybe, was that actually in the book? Yeah, that was in the book. But, of course, in the meantime, so that was like 60-year-old quote, Malcolm X, brilliant guy, definitely worth reading. But the point is that, yes, white liberals are absolutely the worst. I agree 100%. And I, as the only traditional paleo-conservative type in my entire extended family, all of whom are liberals of some stripe, from, progressive, liberal, leftists, woke-tards, all sorts, but they're all liberals of some type. They are absolutely the worst. They are the worst. They are the worst enemy to America, and probably to the minorities that they claim to so much want to protect. So this guy, this Royce White, I think he's hilarious. I just like the way he's toying with David Pakman. Let me know what you think in the comments. And while you're at it, like and subscribe. Helps me grow the channel and continue making content for you. I'll see you in the next video.